It's turn! What's up, my archfiends of chaos? It's your boy Vince Valentine EX Turk, King 957, and we're here with another Final Fantasy segment. Mostly Final Fantasy 15 again, most likely. It's gonna be Final Fantasy 15. And this will be talking about the man who originated the Lucis Cealum bloodline. The man that betrayed Arden, Izunia, Lucis Cealum, and started this whole mess. With the question, was Izunia, Lucis Cealum a good king? To some extent he was mixed. Okay. He was mixed, okay. I think he was somewhat evil, to be quite honest, because he betrayed Arden. I'm pretty sure if he had betrayed Arden and Lucis Cealum, Arden wouldn't have been screwed up in the head and, gave himself to his demon self rather than, his human. So I don't think, to be quite honest, Izunia Lucis Cealum was a good king, that's why Arden named his last name Arden Izunia, to remind him of the hatred he had toward Izunia, because Izunia betrayed him, and that's what made Arden hate all Lucis Cealums. I'm pretty sure Arden would never have been a bad guy if it wasn't for Izunia Lucis Cealum. Now, yes, he's a mysterious figure, and he's part of the Knights of the Realm. So, if he's part of the Knights of the Realm, he would have to have some good qualities. He would have to be a good guy. But he's still, I don't know how you put it this way. It's worse someone is meaningful to do something, to do good, but then they do evil to do good. I don't know if that makes sense, but they just, I don't know how you put it this way, but, they mean to do good, but they do evil in the process. Try to compare a character to what Izunia could be. Like Danzo from Naruto Shippuden. Where, yes, well-meaning he is, he still does bad and evil, shady shit in the background. I think that Izunia, in my opinion, and I'm going to base this off my opinion because there's not very much about Izunia, except for he was the king that betrayed Arden Lucis Cealum. That's why Arden named his new last name Arden Izunia, which is his Niflheim Empire name. That's why he named his last name Izunia, his alias that he went by when he joined the Niflheim Empire, because the Niflheim Empire was still at war with the Lucis Cealums. As if you see in the newspaper, you got Morris Lucis Cealum, Noctis's grandfather, trying to make a deal with a peace treaty with a little bit younger Idolus Aldecat. But what makes Izunia Lucis Cealum really twisted? He was really a good guy, trying to think about others, but and the way he handled stuff was not the good way, because if it wasn't for that way, Arden wouldn't have spent all these thousands of years trying to destroy the whole entire world. Yes, time is what ultimately made Arden even screwed up, and that jealousy he had and he couldn't ascend added to that. Plus, he's no longer beloved and his name was erased from history, which made him even more angrier. But I don't think it could be possibly more angrier than possibly that the fact that either Arden's Izunia's kid, or Arden is Izunia's younger brother, and he betrayed him. Which, if that's either way, family betraying you would screw you up 10 times more. So, the way I see it, even though I think Izunia could have been a good king, king-wise, Izunia Lucis Cealum was good, but he does shady things. Izunia Lucis Cealum is a shady character. He does it for the good of the people, but at the expense of everybody else. And it could be the and it could contribute to the reason why the Niflheim Empire hates Lucius Caelum, and why they want to rule the world. It is probably at one point the Niflheim was a part. Now before you get mad, this is my theory and speculation. I always make fan theories, but my theory and speculation is that the Niflheim Empire could have been part of Insomnia, but then got kicked out and thrown in the hood by Izunia Lucius Caelum. Because the way I had to look at Izunia Lucius Caelum, if this was based off real political parties, if Final Fantasy was based off real political parties, I would have to say Izunia Lucius Caelum would be conservative. He'd be sending, the Niflheim Empire to the hood, because that he thinks less of the Niflheim Empire, which could probably which could also be what played into the Niflheim Empire's hatred to Lucius Caelum as well as Arden. So he's screwed over what possibly could be his younger brother or his son. We don't know yet, but if Arden is the son of Lucius Caelum, then, or the older brother, then, that's probably what made Arden did this and in Niflheim. And in that case, I don't think Izunia was a good king. But then again, that's just the stuff that you see on the surface. I think you don't really see this in the characters' minds. They don't really go put no backstories on any of the Lucius Caelums. Only ones they did was Regis, Arden, and Noctis, because they were the ones in the main game, I don't even think Versus 13 put that much stock into who are the Lucius Caelum royal blood family. But for argument's sake, if Izunia Lucius Caelum was, let's just say, a president, he was real, and he was the president of the United States, I think if anything else, he'd probably be like a more or less evil version of Donald Trump, pretty much. He'd probably be, a little bit worse. I mean, he'd be less, but still, I still wouldn't trust Izunia, because Izunia is the reason why that Arden did what he did and joined up with the Niflheim Empire. And he's probably the reason why the Niflheim Empire has hatred toward Lucius Caelum, even though Regis is trying to fix the relationship, and he was. Of course, he was doing it for the good of his kingdom, but Regis is a good man. That's why I think King Regis and Noctis were better kings than the previous kings. I think the previous kings and queens, we don't know all of them, but I think some could be evil. I think it's possible that Izunia Lucius Caelum could be meaning well for his people, but he's done evil, shady things that causes, again, like I said about sin costing generations of lives. Anything your great ancestors do can affect the present people. And if Izunia Lucius Caelum did a bunch of evil things, well, then that bloodline probably had it coming. And it sucks because like King Regis and Noctis are really good-hearted characters. They really don't deserve all this, And again, Arden was never really an evil guy. He was bitter with jealousy, but if it's true that Izunia Lucius Caelum did what he did, that's why Arden turned to what he is. And then, time does make people worse. But I think that it all started with Izunia Lucius Caelum, because Arden wanted to get revenge on the whole entire Lucius Caelum bloodline because of everything Izunia did. That's why he named his last name Arden Izunia, because he wanted to remind himself of the hatred he had against Lucius Caelum, thanks to what Izunia did. Now, I think Izunia was trying to do what's good. Don't get me wrong, he was trying to do what was good, but the way he did it, it's kind of like if he would have bombed another country to save his country. Yeah, you saved your own people. Congratulations, your own citizens is safe. But in the long run, you're still the bad guy. You're still done evil things. You killed innocent people in your bombing. You still did that. And because of what you did to Arden and made him mad enough to do what he did, you indirectly kind of destroyed the world yourself. So, the way I see it, I think Izunia, Lucius, Cealum is not a good king. I think some of the previous kings were bad. I think Regis, Morius, Lucius Cealum, Regis, Lucius Cealum, and Noctis were the good kings. They were trying to fix what was happening in their past because of what their past ancestors did. So, that's it with that. That's my whole thoughts about Lucius Cealum. I don't think Lucius Cealum's really a good king. Maybe good ruler, but not a good king. And may the crystal be with you. Have a nice day. Debate me in the comments if you got a different opinion. You know, like and subscribe, do all that, share.